all your parties. Dropping the hit, got me Haraami. Coming the scene like a tsunami. I know you calling me Haraami.
Welcome everybody to the Haraami United podcast. Myself, Harps, Afsar, Akil. How you doing, boys?
Oh, good, man. Just
very good.
recovering from the heat wave.
Heat wave. What's
Bro,
it
it
been
was
like?
like 27
14,
degrees
15
and I was up
degrees?
in the hills.
Oh yeah. You went for a walk on that, didn't you, man?
And beautiful, though.
Went to touch your grass. I think that's what a lot of United fans need to do, don't they, at the moment? I was going to say, how you boys feel, but I know, Akil, you're like chilled, man.
I am
You're
chilled.
like-
So I'm not asked.
man.
He
Yeah,
looks
I'm
like
not
he's just had a Pampers session. He's just relaxed and just floating on clouds.
Yeah, and you know what? I think since the Fulham game, everyone's been on one in it.
Yeah, like I said, I think
yeah.
and we're going to come back onto it in a bit. We'll touch upon about Amorim because I know, obviously, you were one of the people that wanted him in here because you saw some stuff in him. But like I said, we'll come into that. Obviously, I think a lot of people have lost their shit. Or better way of putting it, a lot of people who were backing Amorim have kind of turned. I'm not saying that's you, Aki, because like I said, we'll come on to that. But I think the first game, Arsenal, a lot of people were kind of positive. I know me and you, Afsar, was like, bloody hell, yes, they're a good performance, but we lost again. But I think Fulham's game was really the turning point. I mean, boys, tell me, in your eyes, why do you think that was for a lot of people to kind of say, you know what, enough's enough, or we've seen enough now? Because, sorry, by the way, we did draw 1-1 before them.
You know what it is, Hobbs? I'm gonna make it quick here. The Arsenal game, it was a completely different game. We didn't expect it against Arsenal, did we? We had a really good game. I think more or less every player had a really good game, but then everyone's hyped up. Like, yeah, Sesko's gonna start. Amma's gonna go right wing back. We're gonna be fine. Yeah, we're gonna probably go away to Fulham. Fulham not obviously really good as well. But you know what it is? They've got a really good manager, and they've got some really good players as well. But the thing is, people actually doubt. You know what it is? United right now, we are not what we used to be back in the days. Yeah, where we can threaten teams, where even before games, we're like, yeah, we can overshadow them, whatever. Now we're a team where we literally are a mid-table team. We can't even expect to basically be in a position where we have a good game and the next game we're going to have a good game as well. We have to expect that we have a good game, but then the next game we're going to have a shit game as well.
Yeah. I think as well, just what you said there, obviously, like this whole thing of we're not what we used to be. Previously, in years gone by, people would be like, oh, we've got Man United at the weekend. Or like when the fixture lists come out, every other team's looking for when do we play Man United? When do we go to Old Trafford? And it was almost the buzz of going to Old Trafford, but also the fear factor of United basically putting 4-5, whatever past you and just dominating the game. And I think we've lost that. We lost that a long time ago. I think back to what Harps is saying, people have maybe finally realised that Amorim got backed. He got given time to do his fancy formation and there's no progression, there's no improvement. It's very static. And I think we're sort of we've become mid-table in every sense of the word, basically.
So, okay, so what you're saying, boys, is like you weren't surprised by the result and why people are now turning is almost a surprise because that's not because I think like what you're alluding to, Aki, as well, because Fulham, I think they beat Liverpool. They beat, I think, Arsenal as well back end of last year.
Yeah.
I think they've had some good results. And obviously I know I don't need to talk about Afsar and about Amorim, but I think we've won their straight 8 games or something of that nature. So for us, bearing in mind we won there last year, and I don't think last year we were the better team, but we've spent £200 million on players. Now those players being Cunha and Mbuemo, new players who have played started both games. And and we've got like obviously Bruno now playing in a 6 position where really he's always played a 10, 6 or a 8, whatever you want to call him, whatever he was playing in. You've got Ahmad, who's now playing wing back, where he was that winger as such, that number 10, where Mbuemo was playing. That's where he had a lot of success last season, where I think he signed his contract at the back end of. And you've even got people like Mainoo, who's come through the academy, that FA Cup final last year, 2023-24 season, when we beat Man City. He looked phenomenal, played in the Euros, played in the final, played really well as well. But now, he's finding it difficult to find a position. I mean, what's happening with the positions, boys? I mean, how have we spent so much money, but we still look so disjointed and we can't get one of our generational talents? When I say generational, I think everybody's, when he first come in, thought, yeah, this guy is the one. How can we not get him into the team?
I don't think the formation fits him.
Mm-hmm.
I've said this a few times. I think when Ruben Amorim came in with this 3-4-3, at that point in time, our best players were Bruno Fernandes, Garnacho, Kobbie Mainoo, and I was worried then. I'm worried now because whatever's happened with Garnacho has happened. Whatever, he may leave, he may stay, we don't know. But none of them 3 players fit in the system in any way. And I don't get why you would turn up to a team and all of a sudden you've hamstrung Bruno Fernandes by putting him in a position he doesn't play in. You've completely nullified Kobbie Mainoo by taking him off the bench. Yet Garnacho, who played for you last season, who was one of the better players last season, you now want nothing to do with him.
I mean, Aki, you come into this in a second. I mean, but from his perspective, though, from at Ruben's, he's obviously been asked to come in to do a job because the team's not performing. So, he's well within his right now to make those changes, change the formation, and pick the players that, he feels that will fit that formation. I mean, like I said, Aki, I know you were somebody who's looking forward to what he brought with the 3-5-2, 4-3-4, whatever people want to call it. I don't know. Why do you reckon, you can't get those players in? Is it just they're not good enough? Is it the formation or?
No, I think it's just a normal United thing, really, if you think about it. Because, look, last season we had Bruno Ahmad in the number 10 and still we were shit. Yeah, I'll be straight. We did a striker, we were still shit. I think everyone's gone back to the board and what they were saying was, you know what? Okay, we need goals. We can't get goals. We need goals. Who are the next 2 best players when it comes to these numbers, stats and stuff, who can get us goals? The ones that are unavailable, look at the ones that obviously are available, and it's Cunha and Mbuemo. Yeah? I think the board have thought, let's get in Cunha and Mbuemo without even thinking about any of the player currently at Manchester United. Moving Bruno out of position and Ahmad, yeah. If you go back to I think during the season last season, Kwenda, he rejected Amorim because he wanted him in the right wing back role. Let's say if we signed Kwenda on the right wing back, where does Ahmad play? Ahmad plays in the number 10, doesn't he? You know what I mean?
And then it becomes, where does Bruno play? Where does
Yeah, I think Bruno would have stayed in that role, but Cunha and Mbuemo was in that conversation, yeah. But then after Kwenda said no, they came into the conversation, if I remember. So I think they haven't thought about the current players. They just signed whoever they want. They should, I think, when it comes to targets and positional signings, they've got it wrong, Ineos. They've literally got it wrong.
I think, for me, I'm going to commend Ineos here because I think the recruitment has been good. If we look at the start, Mazraoui, Delay, they've done well in terms of that. But I think what you mean in terms of where they've gone wrong is the people they've bought in don't necessarily fit the system.
Yeah, so basically,
I'm looking at it now.
It's not the players, yeah. But when it comes to finding who the right player is for the position, I think that's what they got it wrong.
Do you think that's where
Wilcox
and all not need to consult with Amorim more?
Obviously, I think
Yeah.
I think so. But you know, it's on paper, Cunha, Sesko, and Mbuemo is really good. It's better than last season's. Yeah,
I don't know, man.
but you're taking him out of position.
Yeah.
But,
But
the thing is,
the thing is, you say it's better than last season, but we're saying that because they come from teams that they fit. That's why we bought them, because they played well. We're not going to go and buy a shit player. But then when we bought in the likes of Garnacho, who's ripping it up for the youth system, obviously Ahmad was doing the same as well. Obviously Rasmus Højlund only played the one season. Obviously we paid 70+ million for him because he was doing well at Atalanta as well. But all of a sudden now, okay, it's only 2 games. But I will say, you know, I'll compare it to say Hugo Ekitike, where Ekitike, where he's 2 games, 2 goals for Liverpool. It's come for a big price. Now we bought 2 players, Mbuemo and Cunha, Prem proven. They got these amazing GAs for the last 2-3 seasons. Okay, they're not registered anything at the moment in time. All those 2 games, you know, and again. The so-called performance, we played well against Arsenal, which we played at home. You know, we played against Fulham, whereby really, if we want to be getting anywhere, we should be beating them. Okay, and then we've also got Benjamin Sesko again, roughly what it is, 70 million. Now I'll give him that little bit of a pass, but even in the 2 games, he's not done nothing. Literally, there's nothing you can say where he's contributed. At least with Cunha, you can say he's hit the bar or he's hit he's hit the keeper. That only one major chance that we created was through Bayindir against Fulham. But even Mbuemo's not really done much. Okay, he's done that header against Arsenal and towards the end last week. So, what sample size are we going to give to say it's finally not just the players, it's the system or it's other things within the group of the team? Because absolutely, if you're saying Ineos have done well to bring in the players, you know, but so that's what a lot of people are saying, and I'm not just a lot of people saying that the board had done a great summer. So we heard the same thing last season as well. 8 out of 10 people were saying 9 out of 10s. So what, you know, how are we not getting them in now? How are they not working?
So for me, when I say they bought great players, I mean that. I think the vast majority of the players they bought in have done well. Cunha started well, and Mbuemo, for me, he's been played out of position, but I think what's impressed me is his willingness and his effort, and a lot of the times we've not seen that with a lot of players in the last few years. So, I mean, hopefully they can add to that. But what I mean generally is I think the way they've recruited to me doesn't scream 3-4-3. This is nothing to do with me wanting Amorim out or anything like that. I just think the way they've recruited, it's more long-term. And it's more like, if you look at the players there, we can do a 4-3-3. We can do a 4-2-3-1.
So why not?
And,
why not sack Amorim after he lost in the Europa League?
Exactly.
Yeah. I have the same question.
You know what I mean? Because
if you're not buying the players for the system.
Yeah. Because now
but also, is that then
back.
A thing of that's
now they're going back
pride on the line?
Now they're going back to what they've done last season with Ten Hag as well.
Yeah.
Where they refused to sack him. They kept him.
Was that after the FA Cup final, wasn't it?
Basically, yeah. And then they kept hold of him. They sacked him later on. Then they got rid of Ashworth. And now they're going back to square one again.
But I think the biggest difference between this season and last season was that it was kind of well known that they were looking for other managers. This year, there wasn't a peep. Straight after the Europa League final, no, he's sticking around. He's staying. You know, so I think there's that, and the other thing I have as well. I think a lot of people lost their shit because of now Kobbie Mainoo looking to leave. Now, a lot of fans and a lot of fans that I come across, and again, one of the reasons why the protest from the 1958 got stopped was because people feel the new shiny toys have been brought in. They just think about signings, and liquor paint at Carrington, because that's what really 50 million is. I think some people were saying that could be no major changes other than the where the swimming pool and that is. other than that, they're just like new fancy walls and
Have they bought chips back yet?
yeah, something like that. But what I was saying, so yeah, with how the fuck can you how can you be in a position where you get Mainoo, who's now talking about leaving? Because this whole club, again, if you look at its most successful periods, always based on the youth academy. There's something in that. I don't care. Every club, whether you're Real Madrid, whether you're Barcelona, but you have your philosophy as such. And this has been Man United, to have the youth system, to have the youth kids playing. Now, obviously, they don't always, they're not always good. Obviously, you let some of them go, but the nucleus has always been that. And no one can sit here and tell me Kobbie's not good enough to play for this football club.
Agree. I think, again, it comes back to he doesn't fit in the squad. He doesn't fit in the system.
Yeah, but he might get, and like Aki said then, well, if you're buying the players that aren't for this system, then so why aren't you then saying to Amorim, look, you've got to change your system to either, because we're not getting rid of Kobbie, he's one of our main players, we're hanging our hat on him. And more than anything, we're not getting results, Amorim.
Yeah.
Boys,
How are you
I think
playing this system?
I think what it is, boys, people are forgetting that this kid, he saved Amorim a few
Leon
games
Games,
last season.
He literally
mean?
did, yeah.
Like, he's probably like on the touchline, be like, yo, Kobbie, save me. You know what I mean? He's come on and he's literally scored a banger after banger. And everyone, bro, even then, I think some found him at heart attacks. He's celebrating his goals. And now he's literally on the bench.
He's not played a minute. Did he get on against Arsenal? No,
He didn't get on against Arsenal, and he sat there looking really pissed off against Fulham, and I don't blame him.
Yeah.
Two games where you need a goal. I mean, if you look at the Fulham game, especially, he brings on fucking Maguire. Okay, he brought Sesko on about the 55th minute. Okay, who he doesn't know much about, because the league. But somebody who will guarantee to make you chances is Kobbie Mainoo. You leave him on the bench, and then your other striker, Xerxes, who's not had a sniff. So 2 games, we've needed a goal. You've left on. You're not brought on Xerxes or fucking Kobbie Mainoo.
Yeah.
You know what the other interesting part as well is Amorim even said that Mainoo is competing with Bruno. Now that even tells you
That's
tells
bullshit.
you,
That's bullshit,
bro. That tells you he's actually dropping Bruno from a 10 to a 6 to 8 number in that central midfield role. How can you compete, with your own captain for a starting place?
No, but that's not even his position.
That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying.
I'm not saying if you want to put him there.
He should be
How
in
is
the
he
role.
competing against him and not bloody the other guy, whether it's Ugarte or fucking Casemiro?
Yeah.
I've got a question for you two.
Go on.
Does Kobbie start tomorrow night?
Yeah. But then he's back on the bench against Burnley.
I don't know, because
I don't think he does start tomorrow.
If there's any credibility in this story, him leaving, I don't know whether he risks it.
Do you think he leaves though?
I don't think he leaves on a permanent.
Yeah.
Okay, because I think if him and his team are clever enough, they'll be saying this guy's not going to last long. Okay.
Let's get out of here for 6 months or whatever. Come back
Get out
and have
of
a fresh
the
start.
World Cup, yeah, he needs to play, otherwise he's not going to go to the World Cup. Do you know what I mean? But this is his boyhood team. Do you know what I mean? So why does he want to leave so early? But he has to leave at the moment to get that game time. So I don't know the answer to the question, but I think we'll get a lot of answers in terms of if he's not starting, then I think he goes. If he starts, even then it doesn't tell me much because, like Aki says, he won't play against Burnley. So touching upon that game, I mean, Grimsby tomorrow. I mean, boys, let's be honest. We're winning that game, right? Neither of you two.
Yeah. No. Genuinely, I think we win the game.
We should be winning.
Genuinely.
So let's be real. We're winning that game. You've got your doubts, that we all have. But
we are winning that game. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
You know what it is, bro? These games, even in the Carabao Cup and the FA Cup, we have to take these by the horns. You know why? Because they're another way into Europe. if they can finish 12, 13, 14, we have to get into the FA Cup final and win it, or even the Carabao Cup.
But even then, actually, it doesn't help because people are telling me, because don't forget, that's why Eric Ten Hag lost his job. Winning these cups don't matter. It's the league.
Yeah, like
Do you know what I mean?
Keane
So-
said, cups.
No. I think in our position, because we've got no Europe, there's no excuse. We should not be winning the cup and being top four. There should be no excuse.
Top four is a minimum requirement.
Yeah. But like you said, do you know what I mean? However, my God, if we do not win that game tomorrow, now, like I said, there's a 2% in my brain that says we might not. 98% to me is confident because bearing in mind Grimsby haven't even lost a game this season, and apparently where we struggle,
That's the slight bit of doubt I've had.
They're quite strong on their set pieces, and that's where we struggle. So there's that. But boys, come on, we're winning tomorrow, okay? And we've got Burnley, then we've got the international, then we've got City and Chelsea. I mean, even those 3 games, what do you reckon in terms of Amorim's future? Will he be here? And by the way, this is crazy that only 2 games to play this season, and we've already talking about this. And I mean, this is coming collectively from all the people that we're talking to. There's all these kind of things. Let's ask the question beforehand. Actually, should we be even talking about him losing his job 2 games in?
No.
I don't think we should,
No.
but it's symptomatic of what's going on at the football club, isn't it?
No, but that's normal,
Yeah,
though, isn't it?
I believe we should be, but Aki, go on. Why don't you believe we shouldn't?
Because it's normal, though. Do you know what I mean? It's normal for nowadays. It's normal for United to say, okay, a manager should come in, then he gets sacked. I've heard more manager out since Fergie left than fucking any other club. Do you know what I mean? Like, I'm not heard it from a Tottenham or a Newcastle or a Liverpool or an Arsenal or a Chelsea. I've heard it more at United than any of the 19 clubs. Manager out, manager out, manager out. I want the manager in. Since Fergie left, forget last 2 years. So yes, we shouldn't talk about it. I do get your point, Habs, that we have to talk about it because it's 2 games in, and you have to factor in last season as well. But this is where I come into it and say, why is even the fan base having an expectation on this season? It's a flop.
Because we're Manchester United, we spent 200 million last year. We spent 200 million this year.
But it's a flop.
We can't accept not being at least top 4, at least challenging for there.
Okay, here's a question. From last season, what you've seen, what makes you think that they're going to be, what improvement is Amorim going to do to United?
What's going to make me believe that we should finish top 4? But this is the thing, nothing. But this is the thing. This is where the ownership or the people who are in charge of the football operations have to now take the responsibility. Because I see nothing in Amorim. Do you know what I mean? And again, I don't like smashing it on a manager because, again, I don't want to bore people because we know it's a bigger problem. But again, I'll reiterate it again. My issue with Amorim is the way he talks, the things that he says. Do you know what I mean? And that's from day one. Do you know what I mean? And that's always been my issue with him. And if he was a bit more sympathetic, I would get it. But even then, he's got a 24% win ratio.
Yeah.
24%. It's not even 50% where he's winning 1 in 2 games.
For me, I think there has to have been a conversation at some point of, all right, Ruben, look, you tried your 3-4-3, 3-4-2-1, whatever it is. It's not working, or it doesn't seem to be flourishing. We need a plan B. We need something, like Harp said, we need to start getting results. We need to turn this around. We need to, basically, we need a new age. And I don't know if he's too stubborn, too arrogant. I don't know what it is. But I also feel like you mentioned Real Madrid and Barcelona earlier. And I think when you go to Real Madrid and Barcelona, the expectation is you play their way. There's been rumours that Xavi Alonso will ditch the back three and will play a back four at Madrid. I think he has in a couple of games.
He's not played the 3-4-3.
Yeah, and when you go to Barcelona, the expectation is tiki-taka. You use La Masia, you play this you play their way, and I think Manchester United needs to go back to that. We hire a manager who plays our way, but I think we need to figure out what our way is.
Yeah, like I said, I think there's there's a few more games left. I'm very confident the Chelsea City games will win, but those aren't going to define our seasons. The games that are going to define our seasons are the Fulhams, the Burnleys, and the Brentfords that we've got coming up soon. But look, I think we've kind of spoken about the games that have happened. We've got Grimsby tomorrow, the Carabao Cup. I think we should win that. My God, please, Amorim, just for your own sake and for our own sanity, don't fuck this up. But yeah, we're gonna need to see some real improvement. We've got the game obviously against Burnley on Saturday, 3:00 kickoff. But we've also then got the transfer window closing next Monday. So obviously, people, we will be in touch. We will be back before then. Obviously, like, subscribe, share this. Let us know the players that you want. I think there's players still that are going to leave. Garnacho, obviously the same Man United want 50 million from Chelsea. Anthony looks like he's going as well on loan again with an obligation to buy to Betis. So I think there's a few things, and I think we'll get Lemons, and I still think we need to get that midfielder, man. But yeah, everybody share your thoughts. Let us know who the players you want in before the window closes. Let us know, should we be talking about sacking Amorim already? Is it too soon? Am I jumping the gun? But yeah, let us know, and thank you, and we'll be in touch with you. Thank you.
The guy that jumps up on your